in this video I want to talk to you about the importance of making the use of your vertical spaces within a garden. Now, if you've got even just a tiny little postage stamp back garden in a courtyard setting in the middle of a city, then this is the video for you. Now, I would always say that if you can, check whoever owns the fence or the boundary first. Now, most of us will have a typical sort of feather edge fence like this, which is fine, it does the job and it ticks the boxes in terms of a boundary, but it's not very inspiring. It doesn't give anything back in terms of wildlife habitat, and it's pretty dull to look at. So why not make the use of these spaces by first and foremost putting some trainer wires or some trellising to the fence, again if it is yours, and that will then create a void or a climbing system for these plants to grow up, to create these pockets of vegetation for birds such as blackbirds, robins, dunnocks, thrushes to actually build their nest in once the climbers are established. Now, once you've done that, the plants you can plant along the bottom in terms of climbing plants are things such as this, one of my favourites. This is a thornless bramble, which is great not only because you don't get the added pains of trying to pick brambles from a wild bramble because there aren't any thorns on it, but equally it is a fantastic nectar source in the middle of summer for so many butterflies, insects and bees that it really is kind of second to none in a woodland setting. If you were to go out and take a walk in a wood in the middle of summer and look at the amount of insects that are using it for nectar. But apart from bramble, you can plant things such as the clematis, the wild clematis, Clematis vitalba, honeysuckle or ivy, for example, which is another great flower at the back end of summer for late emerging kind of commas and red admirals, and for wasps, although a bit controversial, but wasps, you know, they do still need something to feed on back end of summer. So using a mixture of these plants, you make the most of your vertical spaces, and that will just create this fantastic green living framework that will just bring wildlife from all around into your garden and create cover again for things such as house sparrows, which are declining as well. So get yourself out there, get some climbers and work on those vertical spaces.